president of the National Association of Law Students, Hassan Nasari, is joining us in the studio for a conversation on a matter relating to the controversial 499 law students who were told were unable to make entry into the Ghana School of Law. You recall yesterday they poured onto the streets presenting some petitions to the presidency, parliament, and the attorney general demanding a number of reforms. One of them is for the scrapping, for example, of some of the policies that are currently in place. But what does the president of the association believe make of all of this and the happening so far? He's joining me in studio for a conversation briefly so we can properly put in perspective some of the demands they are making vis-a-vis what is possible for them to achieve from the agitations that have been going on so far. Thank you for joining me in studio. So we saw yesterday some of the people pour onto the streets, register their displeasure, etc. They presented these petitions. Realistically, is there an expectation that your demands will be met?
We were thinking that should be possible, or it was going to be possible, after we spoke to the Deputy Chief of Staff and also spoke with the minority, as it were, leader, Haruna Idrisu. Now, the problem that has just come up is to the effect that what the president just said this morning, I'm not sure, this morning at Peace FM, I think it's of the concern, and it's actually demoralizing. Now, first, I need to applaud him for having the gut to actually say it, because we've all been worried or concerned as to what the issues are. But if indeed he said that there is no space for the 499, then it only comes to tell us that, yes, as we've always thought, that this whole exam is a sham, that is actually the case.
Okay.
It's disappointing, but indeed, he has spoken the truth. And that is what we're actually looking forward to.
Okay.
Now, a number of issues come into this. Now that we know that they don't have the space, the question becomes, what happened to the manifesto or the politics of 2020? Okay. I remember the acting attorney general, and beyond him, the other, how do you call him? I think
I'll have you hold on for us. Let's now take a listen to what the president has been saying specifically about the law students and the failure to make entry into the Ghana School of Law in that interview on Peace FM, which is currently incurring the, wrath of the agitating law students. If that is ready, I'm sure we can listen to that. Then we come back to the studio, have that particular conversation with the president of the Law Students Association, who is raising these concerns. Now, they say, among other things, that the exam policy, which is currently what it is in the Ghana School of Law, is challenging. That has been cleared. Now he's telling us in studio, based on the pronouncement of a president, there is a reasonable expectation that nothing will happen from here. Now, you were telling me about how disappointed you are about the pronouncement of a president in terms of whether there is enough space to admit the students or not. Go ahead.
Yes, it's quite disappointing because, as I indicated, I remember we met the president then of the Ghana Bar Association, who said they had space. In fact, when he spoke to us, the present attorney general also indicated that they had paid for some space at UPS.
Okay.
Now, if that is anything to go by, it means that they should be able to admit us. Now, if it comes to us as a surprise this time that indeed they don't have the space, and that is why they are treating us this way, that it only extends to confirm that this exam that we always write and the failure of the students is actually a sham. I say a sham because you have space for, let's say, 800 people. Why would you allow 2,824 to go and write the exam when you know that you don't have capacity to actually accommodate them?
Right.
Now, I tried to translate 550 times 2,824. It's in the range of over 1.5 million cedi. Now, you take all these monies and you deny us access to the school. One of the things that I think we need to look at holistically is to, for example, open up. But momentarily, I think faculties must boycott this exam because there's no hope for anybody. If indeed the only reason why you are denying us is because you don't have space, it's extremely depressing, disappointing. I don't have the words.
Okay. So how are your members taking this latest pronouncement by the
president? In fact, they've gone berserk. You see, the painful side is when you put in the time, the energy, you make the mark, and you are being denied. 2018, for example, I remember this issue came up. We moved it to 2019. You remember the demonstration we had?
Yes.
2020, NDC said they were going to expand
legal education, immediately NPP asked, they added to their manifesto that they are going to expand on legal education. Here we are, you are telling us even students have passed the exam, and yet you want to deny them. For what?
Okay.
Who does it help in this country?
I know how passionate you are about this subject. So going forward, in wrapping up, what happens to the petitions you sent to these various contexts? Meaning, is dead on arrival then?
It looks like that, but I don't want to believe that. But in any case, let me profess some advice or some help if they need any. In the Act 32, 13.1, it talks about the GLC being a regulator. If you look at 13.2, it talks about allowing other institutions to run the law course.
Okay.
If you also look at Article 25, it also allows private institutions to do same. If they don't have the capacity, all we are requesting is to allow the faculties to run the law school system so that they can act as WAEC, as regulators.
Okay.
Just take the exam. I mean, if you are trained and you come in, you take the exam. If you pass, you become a lawyer. If you don't have capacity, I think they should break the monopoly because it's extremely unacceptable.
All right, thank you very much. Rather charged, the passionate president of a National Association of Law Students, Hassan Asari, they're joining me in studio.